Hey, and welcome to the first ever edition of the Fandom Report. Today I'm going to be going through Spotlight, movies, series, TV shows, books, and a game review. And I really can't wait to get started because there are so many good things coming out, and a really lovely fanfic writer I have featured in this first ever edition of the Fandom Report, Bree, or Dust to Dust 34, I'm not sure, and she agreed to be in this first ever edition, and I'm really excited to have her on board, and she was more than happy to do this. I asked for a small excerpt or snippet of the fandom, of something new she might be writing, or something of a new chapter. So I got a small snippet or excerpt from chapter 13 of Blood Hands. And if you haven't read Blood Hands, it's an Arrow fanfic, and she is writing a lot of good Arrow fanfics at the moment. I would definitely recommend you go check out some of her other fics, including Blood Hands, of course, and one of my personal favorites, Four Walls. And I'm gonna link her Tumblr and her archive of her own profile in the description below, so you can go check them out. And without further ado, I'm just gonna read out the small excerpt for you guys, so you have something to look forward to in chapter 13. Felicity, he breathed, his voice sounding foreign to his own ears, and despite himself, Oliver pressed his hand closer to her, his body tightening as she sighed languidly against him. He leaned in, wanting to be closer, wanting to feel more of this light she gave off so effortlessly. The life that clung to her, that made her glow, that made her so special and wonderful. It was everything he didn't have, everything he couldn't have, everything she gave him. God, he wanted. What did he want? Her. Now, personally, I think that sounds like an absolute amazing excerpt, and I really can't wait for your next chapter, Bree. It sounds absolutely awesome. I also asked Bree how she first got into fanfiction, and what's her inspiration behind, and what really got her started as a writer. And she gave quite a bit of a long answer, not that I mind. I was actually hoping for this, so I'm just gonna have to read some of it up. She started writing fan fiction around 1999-2000, after she discovered Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She got into the show courtesy of some novellas. In a sense, it was like reading published fan fiction, which is what those tie-in novellas are, and in her words, damn it, they are just like endorsed fan fiction, and it is glorious. I love your wording. When her Buffy/Angel obsession neared uncontrollable levels, when she had gotten everything she could around her, she started exploring online communities, and there she discovered the pure gold of fanfiction. I agree. People were writing actual stories based on this show, and it was all so awesome and good, and I wanted more, all the time, forever and more. I was obsessed with fanfiction, with these new worlds, with what people were doing with these characters. The nice thing about Buffy is that there are very few limits. The magical and supernatural aspect let people really explore amazing options, from alternate universes to completely original stories, spinning off Buffy the Vampire Slayer characters, and it blew my mind. There were some seriously talented writers in that fandom too. There are fics that I will think about for the rest of my life. They were so impactful on me, in more ways than one. Each time I started out a new fanfic, it gave me ideas for my own stories until I finally sat down and started writing something. The first story she wrote is basically what if this happened, fixed purely just to get Buffy and Angel together somehow. It was awful, so very awful, but she stuck with it. And slowly, as time progressed, she got better over time, and she was tenacious at first. She kept reading these amazing fics that resonated so deeply within her, with her, and she wanted to get to that level. She needed to get to that level. Her ideas for, oh well, sorry, her ideas started getting bigger. Her understanding of story structure grew, and understanding of the characters, all while she learned more of her own writing process, which she is still learning. I still feel like a newborn when I start writing something. Sorry, that was oh, sorry. And definitely taught her to that writing is a huge process, and it's something you have to cultivate and grow and love and work on. And none are born with an innate talent for it. It also helps that no matter what fandom or where you are, there's always someone to look up to strive towards, and someone whose writing makes you think, hot damn, I want to do that. So that keeps her striving, keeps her wanting to change and grow. She wrote Buffy slash Angel Fix, sorry, for several years before taking an inadvertent writing break. She accidentally stumbled back into it when a friend of hers introduced her to Buffy slash Dean crossover fics, Buffy the Vampire Slayer or slash Supernatural for those unaware. And the same urge track came back. That was fantastic because crossover gives you so much more creative freedom, and it made her realize, hey, I really loved writing, so why the hell did I ever stop? And then she discovered Felicity, and the rest is history. I'm still falling down the rabbit hole where she'll, sorry, I'm getting confused up here. She's still falling down the rabbit hole where she'll probably tumble down forever and ever and ever. Sorry. Thank you so much for such an amazing answer, Brie. It was really amazing to have you elaborate so much on your inspiration and your start as a fanfic writer. Something I recognized in this was that when you first started reading fanfics, your ideas kept popping into your head, like, why would I, how, or what if, and what if I crossed this fandom with another, or that ideas that just keeps on coming, growing, and ever changing. So that part of your inspiration to start writing fanfics, I can relate to, because that is how I felt myself when I first started out reading Supernatural and Arrow fanfics, because ideas kept popping up into my head. What if happened? And now I'm still very new, so I'm still in the process you were perhaps even 10 years ago. So actually, you are one of those person that you said that you can look up to and strive towards. Someone whose writing makes you think, hot damn, I want to do that. And I think personally, that is what you are to many new fanfic writers in at least the Euro fandom. Um, so keep doing such an amazing work, and I can't wait for your next chapter on Blood Hands. Now, the spotlight is done. Thank you so much for agreeing to join, Bree. It means a lot. And now I wanted to play the ball to you guys. I am going to do another spotlight, hopefully next week. And what I want to do is that I want to give you guys the chance to me to give me ideas on who I should put in the spotlight. So if you have an idea or a fandom or anything, throw me an ask on Tumblr, give me a tweet, or even comment this video on who or what you want me to cover next week. It could be a fanfic, or it could be the writer itself, or it could just be a fandom or TV show, film, whatever you want to be seen featured in the next week episode. So I hope you guys have some ideas for what you want me to do next week. So definitely throw some ideas so I just don't cover things that I find interesting, because that wouldn't be funny for you guys. So I really hope you guys want to take part in this so we can get around everything, so to speak. The link to my Tumblr, Twitter, and archive of our own site are going to be in the description, so you can always get feedback and or a reply so as quickly as possible. I'm gonna delve into movies and also a bit of series right now. I just started out watching season 2 of Daredevil, and if you haven't watched it, that's a TV show I'll definitely want to recommend to you guys. It's an amazing show, and it takes place in the MCU, as Jessica Jones also do, which is amazing. I'm just gonna go into a bit of who Daredevil is. He's a blind superhero, but all of his other senses are heightened, and he has honed them since he was a little child after his father died. He's able to hear or smell or sense other beings. He can also listen to their heartbeat. He has heightened hearing, also heightened smelling. Sorry, I'm not English. English is not my first language. So if you want to, that's definitely a show I'll be recommending. Also, speaking of superheroes, I'm so excited for the new Batman vs Superman. I'm going to see it not next week, but the week after, I hope. And it's gonna be so amazing. While I hope that they actually have the same verse as, or the same universe as the DC series are, I definitely hope that it takes place in the same universe as Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, Constantine. Those are just from the top of my head. I definitely hope that that is in the same verse, because it's, well, imagine that you have Captain America from the MCU films, but then you get well, let's just say Daredevil or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, and you get to see Captain America, only to then realize that it's not actually Chris Evans who plays Captain America. That's not kind of what or why we want this, because having two different actors play the same character, like in the same universe, would be just weird, and it's gonna fall through. So either Batman vs Superman is going to take part in its own universe, or if it does take part in the Arrow, Flash, and so on universe, I really hope we're going to get a Justice League um, movie series or something, or even just perhaps a movie sometime soon. It would be so amazing to have like the Atom, Green Arrow, the Flash, Hawkgirl, Hawkeye, and Supergirl, Superman, Batman, all those amazing superheroes in one place, just like the Avengers. Now I know Batman vs Superman is those two are like the main characters, but I'm just gonna quickly throw in that Wonder Woman is also going to appear in that, and I'm really looking forward to see her. She is going to take part in it, and she's also getting her own movie in 2017, I think. I don't know. Let me just check. The 23rd of June, 2007. Yeah. No, 2017. Nah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her in her own movie. Which also kind of brings me to why DC is actually getting so popular. It's not discriminating on its female superheroes, like Marvel has got a lot of heat on for some time now, because it's kind of complicated, but in the essence of it, Superman, oh, gosh darn it, Spider-Man has belonged to the Sony Studios, the Sony Studios, I think for some time, but it is Disney who owns Marvel, so Sony wouldn't really let Spider-Man be in the MCU universe due to the fact that the other movies were being filmed in the Disney Studios. So I'm kind of glad that Marvel and Disney finally are able to bring Spider-Man into Captain America Civil War, which I'm also looking forward to see. But what really pisses me off about this whole thing is that the Marvel MCU had planned to actually bring in a Black Widow movie, which I highly look forward to. But because of that, Marvel rescheduled and decided that no, we wouldn't get a Black Widow movie anytime soon, anyways. Or so they instead decided to make a new Spider-Man movie, and I can kind of see the logic, but I also feel like that the Black Widow movie has some really good potential, especially in the hands of Scarlett Johansson, because she is doing some amazing acting. And it kind of just feels just like, well, misogynistic to just bump her down because they got a new character to play with. It's like, look, Ma, I got a new toy. I got a new toy. Let me play. Let me play. Let me play. Sorry, that was horrible. No, but that's generally how I feel. So I hope from Marvel's side that we actually get a Black Widow movie, because I would sure as hell go see that. So kudos for DC to make a Wonder Woman movie in 1 year's time, and 3 months, give or take. So because I really think that the time for just male superheroes are up, and we are going to need more superheroes who are POC, LGBT, different religion, different culture, whatever. I think that we are actually getting to that point, well, at least with DC, because on Arrow we are getting another superhero. Don't hold me to this, but I think he's called Mr. Fantastic? Or, no, that's not him. That's from the Fantastic Four. Let me look it up. Um, I will have you answer in a bit. Come on, you lazy computer. Mr. Terrific. I knew it was something with Mr. But Mr. Terrific in Arrowverse, at least, is going to be a POC character, as he is in, well, in the comic books, but he's also going to be gay, and I feel like that's a huge step for a comic book based TV show to take that kind of step, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. Also because, duh, it's Mr. Terrific. Yeah. Now, being on the subject of superheroes, I haven't had the chance, because I live in Denmark, to read a lot of the comic books. So if any of you guys knows where I can get the comic book, it doesn't have to be in Danish, just on English. English would be just fine. I really hope that some of you guys have any idea, because I am out of ideas, and I would really like to delve deeper into those comic books. So we have rounded Arrow, The Flash, blah blah blah. Now that we are basically done with the whole movie and TV series kind of thing, I'm kind of hoping that also, as with the Spotlight, that you guys will throw some suggestions for me to cover in the next week's episode of the Fandom Report. It can be both TV shows and movies you want me to cover. Now, I realize I can't watch every single TV series that you guys are fan of, but I will read on them, do some research, and I'm definitely going to watch the pilot from the most voted shows of the week you want me to cover. I'm also gonna watch the movies that will get the most recommendations, and yeah, I hope definitely, well, I have content for some time now, so, well, yeah, I'm going to throw my Tumblr and my Twitter so you guys can write me some suggestions, and those TV shows or movies that gets the most suggestions will definitely be the one featured. While being on the subject of movies, I'm going to recommend a few movies you guys should watch if you want to. And this is actually related to fandoms and fanfic, indeed. Lately, I've been watching a lot of military/soldier AUs in different types of fandoms. I'm actually writing one myself. And if you are in need of some inspiration and or just want to know more about how military groups, squads, whatnot operate and stuff, um, there are three movies I would recommend you watch. The first being Saving Private Ryan. It takes place in World War II, 1944, on around D-Day, where it's about, of course, saving Private. No, sorry, just about Private Ryan, who had two brothers going into the war, but he had lost two of them, but he doesn't know because he's behind Nazi lines holding a bridge in northern France, the Normandy. And the squad consisting of, now I'm not sure, is it Captain Miller? Yeah, Captain Miller. He is leading a squad into enemy lines, behind enemy lines, to get Private Ryan back home to the States so he can attend to both of his brothers' funeral. It's a very powerful movie, and definitely if you're not a fan of gore, um, I would suggest that you stay clear of this one because it is not for the faint of heart. You will see the insides of someone, and you will see torn limbs and whatnot. So if you're not into that particular realistic kind of movies, then I suggest you don't watch it because it is heavily on that. Another movie, which is more modern, is Black Hawk Down. It takes place in 1993, I think, during the Somalian Civil War, and it's basically some of the elite and special forces of America, the U.S. Army Rangers and the Delta Force, who is being deployed there. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's basically about Delta Force being given the op to apprehend two of the dictator's ministers and or advisors, key people in his administration, and things go wrong, and basically, yeah, things go wrong, and as the name suggests, a Black Hawk, which is a U.S. Military transport helicopter, is shot down. Definitely also a movie if you want to see some of the dynamic that exists within the military, well, at least back then, and how they operated. Now, the last movie I'm going to recommend, if you also are in need of some inspiration to write your fic, is Codename Geronimo, or also The Raid on Osama bin Laden, I think it's called. Whatever. It's on Netflix. It's about the raid on Osama bin Laden and the entire build-up after the attack on World Trade Centers 9/11 2001. And you follow the clues and how two operatives on Abbottabad, I think the city is called, is on surveillance on Osama bin Laden's house for 2 years before finally getting the go from the President of the United States to conduct this operation where SEAL Team 6 is inserted and killing Osama. And it's not so much about the political thing in this movie, it's more about how does SEAL Team 6 prepare, how does CIA handle the intelligence they have, and so on. So if you're needs some inspiration, these are definitely the movies you need to watch. As for books, this is not so much about military or violence. This is it's so long since I've read any of them. Yes. But Artemis Fowl is definitely a book series you would want to check out if you haven't read them already. Um, it's an amazing book series. I don't want to spoil too much because there are so many stories and so many books in this franchise, so to speak. It would be a shame to reveal anything because I really think that this is a book series you need to explore yourself. Um, I can't even remember what the first book is. Google. I'll throw a link down in the description if I can find it. So that's definitely a book series you should watch, or no, sorry, you should read if you need some time to pass by. And lastly, the game review. This game review will be focused on one of my favorite games, World of Warcraft, and its coming expansion, Legion. Now, World of Warcraft is an MMORPG, and I'm not sure of the abbreviation. MMORPG. It's come on, massively multiplayer online role-playing game. It's it sounds geekish, and it is. Like before World of Warcraft became, or even before just World of Warcraft came out, MMORPGs were not that famous or even popular as they are today. The communities were very closed off, and not that many have heard of them. Not even that many gamers have heard of it. But after World of Warcraft, it became a huge success, and more people started to base their UIs on World of Warcraft because it was that recognizable and popular. I still think of, as of now, there is 10 million active subscribers on World of Warcraft, which is a lot considering it is a game you pay for every month, every 3 months, or even every 6 months. The coming expansion, Legion, sounds to be absolutely amazing. Slight spoiler alert: if you don't want any spoilers for Legion, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video so far. And thank you. Until next time. Right. Back to Legion. The Burning Legion is invading Azeroth again, and this time it is really big. They plan to summon even the Dark Lord Sargeras himself, and basically the entire might of both the Alliance and the Horde need to come together to vanquish this enemy in the form of the Burning Legion. And to do so, we as the characters, we need powerful artifacts and to beat the Burning Legion. Now this is done, for example, with let's take the Paladins and the Retribution specialization. As the Paladin specialization class, you get the legendary weapon Ashbringer, formerly wielded by High Lord Tyria Fordring. Now, during the initial assault on the Broken Shore, we lose a great deal of heroes. I haven't actually been able to confirm this yet, but also sources indicate that Varian Wrynn is going to die, and Anduin is going to take over leadership of Stormwind and the humans, and generally the Alliance as High King. But the Paladins, they get to wield the mighty and legendary Ashbringer after a failed, well, not failed, mission to the Broken Shore, where we are set in to retrieve and bring back safely High Lord Tyrion Fordring. But we find him down and out for the count. Sorry for that bad pun. and he eventually dies, where we where with his last words he is wishing for us to take up the Ashbringer and become the new um, High Lord of both the Silver Hand and the Argent Crusade, or the Argent Dawn. I can never remember. Yeah. And personally, I was a bit skeptic at first that all of us, we are getting to wield such a powerful weapon, and not also, it definitely feels like it's taking the policy of not having the chance to transmogrify weapons like the Twin Blades of Azeroth and Thunder Fury, I think it's called. So for us, weapons like that anymore, because everyone is running around with legendary weapons. Like, so many shamans are going to be running around with Doomhammers, so many paladins are going to be running around with the Ashbringer. I like the idea for myself that as a paladin I can run around with the most mighty weapon any paladin could ever dream of wielding. But then again, it kind of takes out the whole aspect of them being legendary when I see there is 20 paladins besides me who's wearing the exact same legendary weapon. To me, it kind of feels like, okay, we are focusing more on the player individual and not so much on the community of having guilding and whatnot. So I'm kind of skeptic, but I'm also excited. So definitely going to be playing Legion. And also, if you want to know more about the artifact system or just the overall lore of Legion so far, I would recommend you head over to the channel and YouTuber Novel. He's doing some amazing videos on lore on everything and the lore on the Legion. He has access to the Legion alpha testing, so he's posting lore on the weapons of each class and each specialization. So if you want to know more, I'm going to throw a link down in the description so you can check out his videos. There will be entertainment for you for hours, so that will be fun for you, I hope, if you're interested. Also, as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be heavily featured on what you want to see me doing next in the next week episode of the Fandom Report. So if you guys have any games you want me to review, I'm definitely going to check them out and see some YouTube videos, read the reviews if I don't have them myself. I of course have a lot of games myself that I can review, but I think it will be more fun for you guys if I can cover what you want me to do the most and what you want what the majority of you want to see. So throw me a comment or an ask or a tweet to let me know, hey, I want to see this game, hey, I want to see this series, and I hope that you guys will enjoy. I certainly enjoyed doing this video, and I hope you guys did so as well. So this video is about 39 minutes long, so I'm definitely just going to cut it off now because I have been talking for way too long already. So until next time, guys, bye!